heard we had a new tree farm. I'm gonna go check it out. Excuse me.
Hey!
Hi, I'm David. I'm looking for Brian, but what is it you do here?
Oh, I actually run the operations for the business of the nursery here for the Great Park in the city of Irvine.
Awesome. And what's that sort of entail?
As you see here, we're growing and sourcing the trees for the Great Park, and we're working directly with the city of Irvine to make that happen.
Nice. And so what are some of the business tasks?
There's so many years of planning that go into a project like this. Procurement of the trees, material sourcing, laying out the nursery, irrigation, maintaining the trees, making sure they're all growing. We have over 3,000, 4,000 trees just for this project specifically alone. So this idea that the city of Irvine had for the Great Park makes so much sense.
Well, thank you so much. Okay,
Yeah.
and did you say Brian was over
Brian's
here?
right over there.
Thank you very much.
Nice to talk to you.
Hey, Brian, thanks
Hello.
for meeting me here at the
Nice
Great
to meet
Park
you.
Tree
Nice to
Farm.
see you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
yeah.
to meet you as well.
So tell me, what is the purpose of this place?
Well, this is our Great Park Tree Farm, where we're growing multiple different species that we're going to include in the build out of what is the framework plan for the Great Park. We have multiple different species here that will support the development of multiple different projects. It'll be a period of delivery throughout the park over the next, I'm gonna say 3 years.
And how is this different from what we've done in the past? This is a new project. You know, what was the impetus?
Yeah, really, this is really, I'm going to say very innovative for us as a city. Typically when we go to, for project delivery, we go out to the market via our contractor. As part of our project bid procurement plan, the contractor will purchase trees, plants, material, whatever it might be. However, based on the scale of the project for the Great Park and our goal to deliver very quality trees, we figured we need to control our own destiny. Let's put together a tree farm and grow all of these trees all at one time. We can dictate what types of species, we can dictate the health, the sizing of the boxes, the irrigation plan, organization of those trees for each individual project. It's very customizable for us.
Brian, that's awesome. So I'm curious, when are these trees going to find their home?
Well, that's a great question. It's kind of a revolving story of we have a certain project that's going to deliver in a year from now. Maybe there's a project that's going to deliver in 2 years from now. And it's boxing these trees appropriately to make sure that the right size when we actually need them.
That is awesome. So Brian, there's a lot of decision making that goes into this. How many people does it take to decide what goes where?
Well, that's right. It takes a village, right? So we have our design team, our project management team, our various different city internal departments, so Public Works, we have our arborist, and some external consultant teams helping with that species selection as well. What's going to look best throughout the I'm going to say the palette of the Great Park delivery.
Nice.
So there's an aesthetic component, a function component.
So who's in charge of that?
So we have Sandy, she's part of our project management team. She is leading this effort here on site, and she's right over there.
All right. Well, thank you, Brian. I'm going to go
Appreciate
talk
it.
to her.
Have a good one.
Sandy, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Brian sent me over to talk to you a little bit about aesthetics of this tree farm. So can you tell me a little bit about how we decide what trees go where and what's important aesthetically?
Aesthetically, it's depend on how we're looking to implement design. You know, each design has its own ecosystem. So when we're looking at, for example, the loop road, this is the ash trees that we're looking at to create, to develop the bike trails, creating that environment where it feels like a forest. Just imagine you're riding your bike, jogging in the morning, you feel that enclosures, and that's what we're trying to create, that impacted feelings. And behind that, we actually want to make sure that we be mindful of what type of trees we're addressing and when we're choosing to select for the design. So make sure that it grows well and make sure that we can maintain it and make sure that it's cost effective as well.
So all of those considerations go even into just aesthetics.
Yes.
That's
yes,
amazing.
yes.
Well, thank you, Sandy. Listen, if I wanted to learn more about who chooses a species, who would I talk to?
I would say with our city arborist, Aaron.
Aaron,
Yes.
you know where he is?
He's right over there.
Thank you so much. Excuse me, Aaron.
Yes.
How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. So we're here at the tree farm, and everybody tells me to talk to you in terms of one very important decision, and that is what trees go where.
Ah, yeah. What trees go where? Well, the basic guiding principle to what tree goes where is really simple. It's the right tree for the right place. And so You see the trees that we're standing in here, these are Platanus acerfolia. These are a great park tree and they're a great street tree. So they're really well adapted to our climate, and they're gonna really serve a good purpose at the parks and the streetscapes that they're gonna be going into around the Great Park, because they're gonna be resilient, they're gonna be large, and they're gonna provide shade and benefits to people. And they're also gonna have a little bit of that color. So wherever the designers are looking to incorporate kind of a nice aesthetic in the fall, these trees are gonna do it for them. So my role as city arborist is to make sure that the trees are being designed in are gonna be be able to be healthy in the locations that they're at. Are the soils in this location going to be acceptable for this tree species? Are there conflicts of maybe adjacent infrastructure that we may look at years down the road when we're ultimately maintaining the trees that we need to address? And so it's a back and forth process, ultimately led by Sandy designing. But on the back end, I work closely with the people that maintain these trees in perpetuity. So I want to make sure anything that we can do to kind of foresee any issues or conflicts, it's taken care of on the front end.
That is very cool. Tell me what makes a good quality tree.
So good quality trees, it's really, in the nursery, it's all about really time, space, and then maintenance of these trees. So, you can see there's rows and rows of trees of various species here. It really is a dance of like figuring out when do ultimately these trees need to be delivered, how many of these trees do we need, and then what we're trying to do is trying to control how large these trees are in the boxes. So you can see the ones around us have about anywhere from like an inch to an inch and a half diameter. And that's really ideal for these trees to be delivered at one of our sooner projects that's going to get built here. We don't want trees that have been sitting around in a nursery in the box too long. What happens is they end up getting root bound. So the roots just grow around and around in that box. And then you end up having some pretty severe defects that can cause the tree to really just not grow right. It can actually cause the tree to fall down years later. So really, really important stuff. And something as simple as just timing it right.
I love that. What would you say to somebody who is learning about your job for the very first time?
Yeah, I would just say, what makes Irvine different than other cities really has a lot to do with our urban forest and how the city's just been a very forward planning, master planned community. Our neighborhoods, our villages, the Great Park, everything's identified kind of through a certain aesthetic. So we've just done a really good job of incorporating trees and emphasizing the importance of benefits of trees in the forest to the design in the city. And so many people that I talk to that wouldn't think know much about trees or anything, they're interested because they go, yeah, you know what, when I drive into Irvine, it does feel different there. And I think that has to do a lot with the trees.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time, expertise,
Absolutely.
knowledge, and thanks for helping us build this tree farm.
You got it. Thank you.
From design, species selection, maintenance, and long-term planning, this tree farm is growing trees today for the Irvine of tomorrow. For Irvine at Work, I'm Dave Eyrig.